hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson. I'm a fantasy and science fiction author. My newest project is Lost in Dreams, the books about Joy Shelley's life in the dream. We are watching the future heroine's childhood as she grows up, the stuff that makes her up and discovers secrets of her life, of the secrets of the dream. There was one secret we were exposed to yesterday. And there are many. There's like almost everything you hear in this podcast is Easter eggs. Easter eggs, Easter eggs, Easter eggs, Easter eggs, Easter eggs, Easter eggs, Easter eggs. Okay? But I can't tell you anything about it because this is about a life. And I say hold on to your butts in the beginning because you have to, hold your breath and then hold on to your butts. It's a massive, big, epic adventure that's told over a very, very long time. So, I'm very excited about this one because, as you may have noticed, the episodes are told by the Red Dragon, who is a female dragon, so she's a dragoness, which Joy calls Red. And therefore, Justin, her father, also calls Red. So, every so often, the Red Dragon, as far as we, in the podcast itself, hasn't really participating in the adventures, but that's about to change, and that always excites Joy, and it excites me because I love these. So, let us begin. Return of the Red Dragon. Joy's age 5.5, told by the Red Dragon. One day, shortly after breakfast, the sky darkened. One moment, Dragon Father and Dragon Little were on Bonny's revenge sailing on a serene ocean. The next, entire battalions of man-sized flies filled the sky, blackening out the sun and my view of Dragon Little and her father. The man-sized flies wore uniforms, held laser guns, and brought massive starships behind them. "They've come for us," I heard Dragon Father say through the incessant buzz that filled the air now. "Remember the pirates we took Bonny's revenge from?" Dragon Father asked. There was no response from Dragon Little. If she shook her head or nodded, I could no longer see. "They worked for these guys, the flying flies. I knew one day they'd be back. Now they are." "Let's get them, Dad. Fire up the ship." There was no fear in Dragon Little's voice. She had never lost a battle, protected by her father's dreaming. How would she know it was even possible if she had never experienced it? "We can't," Dragon Father's voice was somber. "We're outmanned and our guns and weapons are not enough to even put a dent in their forces. We lose." "What?" "Well, if we don't get any help, that is." "Really?" Dragon Little was excited. I felt a happy chill run down my long spine. I believe I knew what would happen before it happened. "Here, you blow," he said. No, you do it." And then I heard it. The sound of the horn reverberated through the entire dream. It was the horn that was used to summon me. I leapt into the air from my hiding place behind the sun's bright lights, and I spread my wings. It has been almost a year since I had already flown, and my muscles ached for it. I gained speed and dove through the gathering army of flying flies. Those who were unfortunate enough to be struck by me fell, but not as fast as I. I dove past the flying battalions, and then they were behind me. I could see Bonny's revenge again. In 2 seconds, I stopped just above the water, my body and wings slightly bigger than the ship, my face mere centimeters for my 2 favorite people. "How are you doing, my Dragon Little?" I asked and smiled. Dragon Little's smile was even greater. She jumped on my nose and hugged my head. Red, I missed you." "I missed you too, little one. I'm glad to see you once more." Dragon Little hugged me and could not stop. I laughed. I never laughed, but I laughed. Her love warmed me. Hello, Dragonfather. It is nice to see you as well. Hey, Red, he said. I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad you could make it. As you can see, the situation's bad. We need reinforcements. Are you willing to help? Of course, I said. Dragon Little disconnected, climbing up my head, and sat behind it. There was a groove in my scales created by my former enslavers, so they could ride me and control me. Now, no one controls me. Dragon Little sat in it, shouting, I'm riding with Red. I laughed again. Soon the battle would begin, but I grow tired of telling. Memories seep my strength. I will tell you what happened tomorrow. Told by the Red Dragon. Hashtags Joy, Justin, Bonny's Revenge, The Flying Flies. So, Guy here. This episode is called Return of the Red Dragon, and if you follow this podcast, the Red Dragon has never actually appeared in one of their adventures. She just tells the story. She just watches over them. And this is because right now, in this little story, Joy is aged 5.5. And season 1 is ages 2 to 6, up to Joy's 6th birthday. So, the stories jump around in time, and we are meeting them towards the end of season of, Joy is getting close to 6. It's not the end of the season, but it's where she'll be at the end of the season. And the Red Dragon has appeared before. She comes and helps them in their adventures, but we haven't seen that yet. So, this is something to look forward to. In any case, right now, this is just the beginning of an adventure. We don't usually have adventures in the Squashbuckler Diaries. I tend to concentrate more about, who Joy is and what it's like to grow up in the dream. And I save the adventure for the books. The first book will come out the beginning of 2021. It'll be called The Forgotten Girl. And that's where the adventure is. But sometimes I do have a little bit of adventure just for fun, just to see, especially to see what happens when the Red Dragon comes to play. So another important thing to say, another important thing to mention is that the Red, Justin invented the flying flies and invented the adventure they're going on. And he assumes, his subconscious assumes that everything that appears in the dream is part of the dream. And that includes the Red Dragon. He summons her whenever he wants to, and she comes, as far as we can see. But she comes because she wants to. Other stuff in the dream usually disappears when he doesn't want them there. But the Red Dragon is always there, looking at Joy, watching over her so we can see, and telling us what she's like. Next time, we'll see what happens next. Join us tomorrow, and for now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. If you want to know more about the Squashbuckler Diaries, check out the website, guyhasson.com, which is GUYHASSON.com. The theme music is called Brash Gentleman and is by Thomas Herudek. I will talk to you again tomorrow in the dream. Ahoo! Okay, sorry about that.